Well, hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Sissy wanted to replant some of her, well, she wanted to replant it. She moved it from out here to the garden to the bed. These are Egyptian walking onions, so you don't have to separate them. You can do like this too, and just plant them in the clump they're in, but they'll fall over and hit the ground and reseed themselves. You don't have to repropagate them. Sometimes you might have to thin some bad ones out of them, but keep in mind, it's probably a good idea in case we're getting a seed shortage or you can't get onion set. So at least you got green onions. These don't make a big bulb, but they are good. They're good tasting onions. This is our garlic chive. It's blowed full of leaves after that storm, but you can see they go to seed every fall. So you don't have to buy a seed. You can store your own seed. We gave some of these to some of our neighbors up here that garden too, and they were happy to get those. They'll stay green like that almost all winter long. This is almost a 10-month out of the year crop. Unless it burns up in drought or it freezes out, it'll come back. They'll come right back out of the bulbs. So unless it kills your bulbs, you're gonna have a crop of that. So we're going to show you here where we've intercropped garlic in here. So in between these weeds, there's a little baby garlic. Here's one. This is elephant garlic, this big one. You can't mess that stuff. And so I'm going to eventually come in here and take all this out, this sheepshire weed. There's a tree coming up in there, imagine that. Look at these tomatoes that come up in the compost. And it hasn't killed them yet. They're not going to do anything. They're going to leave here pretty quick. But we're going to put all this back here in carrot later. But see, we've intercropped this garlic in. We've put our collard greens in. Here's one red Russian kale plant. We didn't plant enough kale, by the way, but we've got time to make up for that later. And this is really good kale. I don't think it makes as many leaves as some of the other ones, but once it gets really big, it does make a lot of leaves. But we got collard almost big enough to eat some of these, and so we came in here where we had our old tomatoes, and there's the drip line that I ran, and I put a row of compost down the middle, and we planted broccoli in here. This is Hoss Tools Godzilla is the variety. It's a hybrid. And so here's some we plugged in later. The grasshoppers ate up about half of it. So we lost some, but we made up for it. I'm glad I planted extra. See, there again, a lot of times you think you plant too much, but that's not the case all the time. So those are collards, and then here's a kale, and we got some more collard, and then it changes over again up here. This is crowfoot. We had this mulched, and I want to spend just a minute here on this mulching. Remember we told you, don't plant or don't use this cheap Walmart fabric in the tubs. Now we said that about tubs, but now this is a different context. We're putting it on the ground. That's what it actually is, ground cover. As long as you'll mulch it, see there, and keep the sunlight off from it. We had a really good row of tomatoes through here. It even kept this crowfoot down. It found its way up through the middle. We had it clothespin. What we did is we pulled it up, pulled both sides up here around our plants, and we put clothespins on it. And you can't tell it now, of course, because it's all moved around, but I mean, this just keeps going. We've got, what, honey, 80 feet here probably? Not counting that half row or quarter row.
Yeah, about 80.
Yeah. And we keep getting decent weather. I think we're going to get a fall crop of broccoli. If not, I'm going to put some wire wicket hoops over it, and we'll stretch plastic over it, and we'll cover it and try to hold it until, you know, better weather comes along. But when I planted it and all this, I put a 1/4 cup chicken, composted chicken, that Job's brand, on each plant. And then I came back last Wednesday and I put liquid fertilizer on. So that's one reason it's really kicking it in gear. Now you can see where the frost hit it the other night. This is kohlrabi, and it can take a lot of cold weather. It burned it a little, but It's gonna be fine. So we're gonna go on into the greenhouse now and show you what we're doing in there. I've got some guttering out here I've been tinkering with. And we want to catch water off this greenhouse. But I'm kind of still debating on where I want to put my barrels at, because I probably need to run them over here, because I want to use this side next spring. I'm going to make roll-up curtains on here, so I can't set a barrel here in the way, but I can set it around here and run this gutter. These are just these old plastic gutters, but they're going to catch water, and we're just going to screw them on, and I'm going to raise them up in the middle and run them to both corners, and I'll run a hose down and go in the barrel over here. And that's the ideal anyhow. I don't like the way they got this rigged up. We got these gifted to us, and look at that downspout, and they got a seal in there, and we try to put them together, and it's a train wreck. So we're not gonna use that part. So here's what Sissy and I's been doing. We've come in here and started taking out these tomato plants. That's why all this trash and leaves and junk's everywhere. We still got green ones. We're gonna strip them off. And what we're doing, show them that. Hang on, let me get my clippers here real quick. It's eliminating the crop's the hardest thing you'll do, because you want it to make more, but being realistic, it's just not going to make any more crop. It's too late in the year. So we leave these clips on. Remember we showed you guys these before? They clip on the string. So we just cut the vine. Let me find one where it's on here, right here. I can see this good. I just clip it. I just clip it like this, and then go below that so you can come out. And leave these on, and then next spring, when you start your other tomatoes, you can just go right up with your plant and keep going up the string. Now we showed you guys that tape tool. It will not work on this string, because it just lets it slide. Now if you got a cage or some wire support, yeah, that tape tool works great. But that's what we're doing here. We're stripping these, and what we'll do, we'll come in, we'll just top these with some fresh mix. And if you're probably asking, well, how come you're not digging the roots out of there? Leave them in there. So you can see, I don't know if Sissy, yeah, come here, I need to show them right here. So here's where we've clipped them. I think we only had 2 plants in these tubs. Yeah, see there's one, and here's another. See the roots moving? Just leave them in there. You can come back and top that, or plant right around these, like so, if you're gonna put plants, or you can seed in there, either one. And those roots of the new crop will follow right down through that old root system. And it works great, because they kind of help aerate your soil. Years ago, you couldn't have convinced me it would work. Because we always either worked it with a tractor or tiller or something. And shoot, now looking back on it, you're saving yourself time and money not cultivating. Of course, these tubs, all you can do is scratch it up with a hand trowel or whatever. But as you guys can see, this stuff's growing better. Our calibration mix. This is really tasty, fresh or cut. Our lettuce is finally growing. All it needed was some cool weather. And this spinach, I still don't know exactly what's wrong with this tub. I did it identically to this one. But we're going to cook some of this tonight. We're going to have some of this. And here's our carrots we showed you last week. And look how much they've already grown. And I thought I would do a little piece here just a minute on the carrots. Our radishes are really growing good too. Now here's this envy carrots. This is a shoot over here. And they're doing okay. It gets cooler, I think they'll do better. This is envy from Hoss Tools, and you can get these seed. There's other companies that's selling the same variety. But look here, guys. 70-day carrot, 750 seeds, and here's the back information. See, it says early spring and into fall. Tells you how to plant them, how to thin them if you want to thin them. I think thinning carrots, you're killing your own purpose. It's raw seed. This is not pelleted. But if you're thinning carrots, the way to thin them is not thinning them now. Wait till they make pencil carrots, then thin them. So utilize that, eat those small ones, let these ones get bigger later. So we're eager to see how this one works. So then we got Hercules carrot, which is that back tub. And this makes a really big carrot like you're used to seeing, in the stores. And they mechanically dig these. That's why they like a big, tough carrot root, because they don't have as much breakage. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I'm going to tell you. You see the little baby carrots in the store, and they call them a baby carrot? No, that's the broken ones after they mechanically pick these. And so they just tumble them. They tumble them and turn them into a smaller carrot. Used to, all that got wasted or turned into animal feed. Well, so that's why a lot of times when you bite into those raw, you're thinking, man, that thing's tough. That's why it's not a true baby carrot. It's just the core of these big carrots that they break when they pick mechanically. So the Hercules is a good overwinter carrot. It's 65 days, so it's 5 days earlier than this one. And they're saying the same thing on this pack, of course, to thin them and do all that. You don't have to do that. Now here's a good idea if you don't think you can grow carrots. Sissy likes these seed tapes. And here on the back, we're going to look at this, and it says, dig a furrow, put your seed tape in and cover it. And it says it's great results with less work. Well, they're not lying. We tried some of them, and they work pretty good. And if you're into straight rows, see, that'll make a really straight row, because you kind of stretch it out on one end, have your partner hold her foot on the end, or your wife, or whoever's helping you, and just stretch it out down through there and cover the other end. It'll be straight, and then when you cover it all, you'll have a little nice straight row of carrots. I probably shouldn't beat up Burr Pea. They got good seeds, but they're not into saving anybody any money on seeds. And I'm not saying these aren't worth it. We paid less than that. So this is $8 for, what does it say it's going to plant? 22.5 feet. Well, for just a regular home gardener, that don't want, 10,000 carrots, this is not a bad way to go. I think we paid, what, $5 for those? I had them on sale. But not a bad idea, and there's your grow zones. They've got them on there. So when you buy seeds, kind of pay attention to that as well, and it'll kind of give you planting dates ahead of time. But we thought we would run this by you guys. There's green tomatoes we've been stripping off of these old vines. Those will probably get pickled. We're going to pickle tomatoes, and there's no use wasting them. We've been giving tomatoes to some people that don't have any around here, because a lot of people around here can't raise them. There's too many rocks, and so we hope you found this useful, and if you can use some of these ideas, or you can give us ideas, leave it in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. Click the subscribe and hit the bell, and it'll notify you when we make another video. So have a good day.